Sometimes we just need a bit of a break. Sometimes that's all we need, is just take a little bit of a break. And that was kind of the case. So, welcome back to the channel, guys. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video up, and we're gonna jump right in to a shoe review real quick. But I wanted to say thank you guys for staying subscribed to the channel, watching my videos, giving me all the support, reading the comments, especially recently. It's greatly appreciated, guys. It really does mean a lot to me to read the comments, to see the support, all that kind of stuff that's out there. It really does mean a lot to me. So, kind of give you an idea of what's been going on over the past, oh gosh, I don't even know, like months, right? Almost a year, basically. Back in March of last year, I started a new career. As you guys may know, last December, or a little over a year, so 13 months ago, I was let go of my job that I had for like 16 years and needed to find a new career. I was able to find a new career, but what that did was it kind of took time away from being able to do stuff like this in order to get used to the job, get used to what I was going to have to be doing on a day-to-day basis, getting used to the schedule, all those kind of things. This is very different from what I had been doing in the past, but for the past 16 years. And sometimes change is a good thing, right? But because of that, I kind of had to take a step back, and I had to look at my priorities and see what was going to work for me and what wasn't going to work for me. So unfortunately, staying away from doing the videos, still doing the running, but staying away from doing the videos for a little bit until I got everything figured out was going to be important. So that's kind of brought up to speed in regards to that, as to why a lot of videos haven't been put out. Now, I have been running in a lot of different running shoes over this period of time. So a lot of this is going to be catch up, kind of like what another YouTuber is doing, because he took a hiatus as well. It's going to be a lot of catch up. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's greatly appreciated. All of my shoe reviews, by the way, and all my running content is from the point of view as a heavier runner. So I do weigh a lot more than the typical YouTuber that you see here on YouTube. So my experiences with a lot of these shoes are going to be a lot different from what their experiences are. So some shoes that they may not like because they say it's too firm might end up being like the perfect kind of firmness, springiness, whatever, for somebody of my body type and my running style. I'm also not obviously an elite runner, and I accept that. That's just how it is. I've run multiple half marathons, haven't quite gotten far enough to make it to a full marathon distance just yet. But that is a goal of mine, so you guys can ride along with that journey as well. So jumping right into it, I'm just going to do a quick review today, because I think it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just important to just kind of jump in and get back to some sort of normalcy in my life, so it seems. So let's kind of jump right into it. Today we're going to talk about the Asics EvoRide SPEED. Yeah, you heard me, EvoRide SPEED. Now, this is a shoe that kind of came out last year with absolutely no marketing whatsoever. And Asics did a really bad job marketing this particular shoe. And when you hear EvoRide, that was kind of like the daily trainer, kind of faster, snappier shoe to the Glide Ride. So you hear EvoRide, and then you hear Speed, and you're thinking, okay, this has got to be like a speedier version of the EvoRide. I'll get into that here in a second, because I think I figured out what Asics was trying to do with this shoe. But let's kind of go into some of the stats and features that they have on this shoe, really, because you got this engineered mesh upper, which is really breathable. I do want to say that it is really, really breathable. It's quite comfortable too. Has a nice wide toe box to it. I do wear this in a normal size. I don't have a wide or anything like that. This is a normal. Now they do offer this in a wide version, just want to throw that out there, but I am in a standard normal size, and it's perfectly fine toe box. Has a lot of volume to it, so you can wiggle your toes around. It's a very comfortable upper, very breathable upper. It does have a really nice kind of lockdown over the midfoot. You do have some flat but slightly stretchy laces here. They're not super stretchy, but they are slightly stretchy. But a really nice lockdown over the midfoot. And I think part of that reason is because it's got this kind of stitched overlay for the Asics logo here on the lateral side. And on the medial side, it's like kind of like a pressed on separate fabric. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's actually raised above, almost like it was kind of like stamped or pressed onto the side of the shoe in a completely different way than you usually see a typical overlay on any of the running shoes. But I think both of these sides add a little bit of structure to that lace loop system and provides a little bit better lockdown to it. The tongue is almost like a racing tongue because there's no padding on it whatsoever. It is very thin, it's a very breathable tongue, but good thing is I haven't had any lace bite issues on it or where you're feeling pressure points from the laces digging into your feet. I haven't had any of that in this shoe, so it's very, very good. And it does have some really good padding, as you can see, around the heel counter here, and it's a very stout, very structured heel counter that you have back here. Really good lockdown, even in this heel counter, really wraps around your heel really well, provides great structure. So I'm really enjoying the upper on this shoe, probably one of my favorite uppers, and it's just a surprise that they came out with this shoe and there's just no marketing whatsoever. Let's go to the midsole. So the midsole, you got Flight Foam Blast here, and it's the regular Flight Foam Blast that is from the first iteration of the Nova Blast and the second iteration of the Nova Blast. And it feels really good. It feels just like what you would expect the Flight Foam Blast to be. It does have, I believe, because when I purchased the shoe, they didn't have any kind of stack height specs or anything on this thing, so just kind of bear with me. But what it feels like, or what I found on the internet, is 24 millimeters of stack height in the forefoot, 29 in the heel for a 5 millimeter drop, which is pretty on par with what you get with the Asics EvoRide anyways, or the Glide Rides is pretty much a 5 millimeter offset. And it feels like that too. It feels like a 5 millimeter offset type of running shoe. You can see that it still has that kind of guide sole technology that Asics is known for, especially with the EvoRide and the Glide Ride. You still get that here in the forefoot. And then on the outsole, you get AHAR rubber on the outsole, and you can see its design is very reminiscent of the Asics Magic Speed 2 and 3 and the Asics Meta Speed Sky Plus as well, and we'll get into that here in a second, or Meta Speed Edge Plus as well, because they're basically same shoes but different offsets. So yeah, you can see the outsole coverage, and it's a very thick layer of this AHAR rubber that's on here. And of course, AHAR rubber is probably one of those type of outsoles that's going to be around long after the human race has been wiped off the face of the earth. This stuff is going to last a very long time, and I can already tell just based on the mileage that I put in the shoe. I've already done about 50 miles in the shoe. It's not one of my shoes that I pick up necessarily every day because I ran in a bunch of other shoes, but I picked this up dirt cheap, and I'll get into that here at the end. So what is it like to run in this shoe? Why does it even exist, right? Because I think those are kind of some of the questions that we have here. So I will have to say that this shoe, running in it, it doesn't feel like it wants you to do anything in particular. You can run daily miles in this shoe. It just rolls over, it transitions really well, just like you would expect from one of the shoes that has the guide sole technology in it. It does exactly what you want it to, but it also has that ability to go faster with that flight foam blast that's in here. It really does kind of compress and pop when you want it to. And I think that's kind of also important with this shoe. It's very versatile because it rolls off the toe really well at slower paces, but because of that guide sole technology and the flight foam blast that's in here, it also can pick up the pace and do some of that tempo and faster workout interval kind of stuff. It's a relatively light shoe. I don't have the weight of this, but I know it's a relatively light shoe for basically being a pseudo daily trainer type of shoe. And there's no plates in it. There's none of that, but you can see that the toe spring here is still very stiff. And I know that's partially because of that outsole rubber that is underneath the forefoot here. But again, it just kind of rolls through really well. It's flight foam blast. Now, it doesn't have that same kind of trampoline effect like you get on the Nova Blast, like what we have here. This is designed to kind of give you that trampoline effect, not just with the pod in the forefoot, but also with the decoupled groove in the heel. You don't have that here, so you don't quite get that full energy return like you do out of a Nova Blast, but you still get that pretty good compression and comfort to kind of get some good impact protection. This is a great shoe that if you're gonna do like maybe a couch to 5K, or maybe doing like your just daily miles, your 5K, 4, 5, 6 mile runs, stuff like that. I think this is a really good shoe to kind of do that kind of stuff in. Traction has been really good. I've ran in some wet conditions in this shoe, and it's been really good as far as traction is concerned, but some of my roads are very coarse, so I really don't have to worry about traction in a lot of shoes anyways, but this has been doing the trick as far as traction is concerned. Overall comfort is good. I love the breathability because here in Florida it does get hot, and that's one thing. Last summer I started to run in this shoe and I didn't have any problems with breathability in this shoe at all. So I guess the big question is, why does this shoe exist? With all of these other running shoes that are in Asics lineup, why does this exist? And especially at the price point that the shoe was initially on the market for, which was $140, which puts it in line with the Cumulus and the Nova Blast. Why would you pick this over the other two shoes? Well, it has to do with competition, actually. It has to do with what some of the other competitors are doing on the market. So you look at what Saucony is trying to do with the Endorphin lineup, right? You've got the Endorphin Shift, which is kind of your stability, long run, max cushion shoe that you can do daily mileage in and everything like that. Then you got your Endorphin Speed, which is your tempo day shoe that you can daily train, but you can also do faster workouts. You could even race in that shoe if you wanted to. Then you got the Endorphin Pro, which is obviously your marathon racing shoe. And if you really want to go absolutely bonkers, then you can go with the Endorphin Elite, which is probably more than enough for any one of us normal people, especially me. I'm never going to be able to run fast enough to get the efficiency out of that shoe. And you look at like other companies too. You look at Adidas. They have the Adi Zero lineup. So you got the Adi Zero SL as your daily trainer. You've got you could say the Adios 8 or Adios 7 or whatever as kind of like a faster interval shoe. You've got the Boston 12, which is kind of your super trainer type of shoe. Do long runs in, tempo workouts, also intervals. And then you got your Adios Pro, which is your race day shoe, right? So you can kind of stay in a certain lineup, right? So, and those are just two samples of what a lot of manufacturers are trying to do, is try to create a lineup of shoes that you can say, okay, well, this is just going to help you from one to the other. Asics was trying to create a speed lineup of shoes, okay? So you'll notice when I start naming, there's a trend going on. So you have your Asics Meta Speed, Sky Plus or Edge Plus. That's your race day shoe, right? That's the shoe that you're going to take to your marathon, your 10Ks, your half marathons, all that kind of stuff. That's your race shoe. Then you have your Asics Magic Speed, which is your super trainer type of shoe. The Asics Magic Speed 2, Magic Speed 3, those are your super trainers, right? Has Flight Foam Blast Plus, has a plate in it, all that kind of stuff. That's meant to do some of your faster work, all that kind of stuff, be a fun kind of shoe to run in. Well, this is the daily trainer to the lineup, the EvoRide Speed. It has a very similar feel. It has the rocker geometry that is very similar. Now, I have the Metaspeed Sky and I have the Magic Speed 2, and I can tell you that this does have a very similar kind of ride and feel, but this feels more like a daily trainer version of those two shoes. So when I run in them, they do have kind of a similar ride. So if I used this every day and then say, hey, I want to go on a long run, I'm going to take the Magic Speed 2s out, guess what? Magic Speed 2s feel very similar to this, just a little bit snappier, a little bit poppier than what I get in this. And then same thing on race day, if I want to take the Metaspeed Sky out, guess what? That shoe feels very similar to what I have trained in this shoe. They basically tried to create a speed lineup of shoes and didn't market it at all. Asics, if you need somebody to market your stuff, give me a call, seriously. Because this should have sold well, and it didn't because it quickly went on sale. I was able to pick this up for under $60, like almost 50 bucks, right? I mean, and that was not with any discount codes or anything. That was literally the price listed on their website, was like under $60 for this shoe. It's like $54 or something like that for this shoe. Regular price $140. You're getting Flight Foam Blast, you're getting AHAR rubber, you're getting the guide sole technology, you're getting a breathable upper. Even the insole on this is like an Ortholite insole. This shoe has a lot of high-end technology that was put into it, and it was like quickly marked down to 50-something bucks. It was insane to me that Asics would even put this on the market and then quickly put it on sale the way that it was, let alone it didn't pop up as like, you know, when Asics brings out the new Nova Blast or the new Nimbus or the new Cumulus, where they put it right on the front page and say, hey, check out the new whatever. This shoe just ended up like 3 pages down in their running shoe lineup and then quickly on sale. Like, it just blew my mind. And when I saw it on sale, I said, you know what, for 50-something bucks, let me give it a try. And it does. It feels very similar to what I get out of the Magic Speed and the Metaspeed. So just in a daily trainer package, and that's perfect because now it aligns. Now it all aligns. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on this shoe. I really appreciate you guys kind of staying tuned, watching the update, which is awesome. I really appreciate that as well. Guys, thank you again so much for staying tuned to the channel. I'll promise I've got a ton of running shoe content. It's probably going to end up being older stuff, but or older shoes, but I have been running. I've definitely been coming out of that hermit hole or whatever. So, but again, if you guys have ran in this shoe, please leave a comment in the section below. If you haven't, but you're interested in this shoe and maybe you have some questions, also leave that in the section below. I'll try to get to you and answer those questions for you. Hopefully the video did a good enough job kind of answering some of those questions. But again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Guys, I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Gonna try to get some more content out for you guys as well. Maybe I'll even do some of that kind of stuff for the car. Who knows if that's something you're interested in as well. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, enjoy the run. Thank you for watching.